Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Now, regular viewers, you have probably noticed that there's been a distinct lack of new content in the last 6 weeks. I'll tell you why. I had a small medical procedure, but there was 6 weeks healing time and I'm fine, so I'm back in the woods. I did upload quite a lot of old knife review videos which I'd done a good few years ago, and I was looking back at them through my list and they had very few views, and I watched one or two of them and I thought to myself, there's a lot of dead air time. So I took them down, I re-edited them and I put them back out. So there's something for perhaps newer viewers to watch, and from the comments a lot of older viewers were quite happy to re-watch them. Right, well, I'm here now and you see I need to light the fire. It's been 6 weeks, no, I think it's been longer than 6 weeks since I've lit the fire. It's probably been more like 7, 8, so quite a long time. I hope I can remember how to do it. Well, I've got some new gear I want to show you today. First up is this, and I'm really impressed with this. This is from Bison Bushcraft and it's a rope bag. Now, I saw this and I thought to myself, that's perfect for me because it's got pockets on the outside. Now when I come to the woods, what I usually do, I get my stuff bag with my kettle and my tea making things. I take them out and then I just plonk everything in the bag. My phone, my keys, bits and bobs in my pockets, and I just throw them in the bag. Well, this bag is like a bucket. It's nice and solid. It's thick canvas with a waterproof canvas waxed. Yeah, so I can just put it on the ground, no worry about anything seeping through. And what I've done, I've got my knife, which is a new knife, which I'll show you in a bit. I've got some tinder card for fire lighting because I'm rusty now. I may not be able to light the fire. I've got my long spoon. I got my big ferro rod, more fire lighting gear. I've got an aluminium pot, and in here I've got split fatwood, good stuff. So I'm pretty much sorted to light the fire just with this. Inside I got my little bag. I keep my tripod chain to hang my pot in, and the next new bit of kit I've got, I got a new pot, and I like pots. I got a thing for pots, and this is a Firemaple pot. I was given a gift voucher for Amazon for my birthday and I really didn't know what to spend it on. Bang! Instagram shows me this. I thought, oh, that's very Moore's potish. I like that, so I bought it. Firemaple. Locking lid. It's a little bit loose, but I won't moan about that. Nice bail handle, not one of them square ones which are difficult to hang. Thick round wire, which is my preferred. And two pouring handles and a spout. Quite impressed with that. Just about got everything I need. It does come with a steaming tray, but I don't really need that unless I'm going to steam something, and I've got no intention of steaming anything today, so I left it at home. But what I do like about this, different from my little kettle, which I love my GSI kettle, but I can get all my tea making things in here, including my cup. So I've got my tea bags, I've got my old faithful mug, which is 33 years old now, I think, and my little milk pot, all in there. So that is going to be the pot of the day, and it may be the pot of the year, we will see. onto the knife. Right then, I had a customer from Canada who really wanted a tribute knife in Magna Cut. So we struck up a deal. If he sent me some bars of Magna Cut, I would make him a knife. I've made the knife, he's had the knife, he's very happy with the knife. But I made 3 at the same time. I made one for him, I made one for my pal Tom from the Woodland School, and I made one for myself. And I didn't go with my carter on this one because I'd managed to source some really nice walnut. So I put a walnut handle on it. Now you know me, I'm not a massive fan of wooden handles, but I wanted to try it out. And if it breaks, I'll just take it off and put my carter on. I gave it a double liner. I like black and white. And as you can see, it's got bolts, not tubes. I've got my other one with tubes and 2 bush tools, so I thought I'd just go with that classic bushcraft knife look. Still got the protruding tang, and as Magna Cut is not quite stainless but stain free, I'm told, I put stainless bolts instead of brass. My regular grind on it, and I believe this one is a tad over 3.5mm thick. So not quite as beefy as the 3V one I made. So this will be the knife of the day, and I'm going to have a total cheat. Sorry for the purists among you. I am rabbiting on a bit, I am sorry. I have got some nice feather stick wood from the other camp with me, because there's nothing to make nice feather sticks in this woods. This woods is just wet. I gathered some twigs on the way in, and there's a few bits and bobs around here which will also be used, but I am going to feather stick this up. Fire. Now, one thing I wanted to add, this is not a knife test or an edge test on this knife. This is just me using it how I'd normally use it. I'm not going to beat it up nasty or anything. Tom, who had one of the other knives, has used it, I think he's had it a month, and he's used it every day, and he is a bushcraft instructor, and he told me that it's still like a razor blade, and there's been no patina, no rusted, nothing on it, and he's given it some real heavy use, he's told me, so I'm happy with that. Number 1. Yes, knife performs well. I do find the handle I've done a little bit on the big side. I can always take it down, but that could just be me because I haven't made a feather stick for weeks and weeks. Well, that's number 1. The one thing I will mention, I haven't got a light my fire rod with me today. I've just got the large Oberlieben rod, and the large Oberlieben rod is quite soft. So I can't do the Morse-Kochanski method where you just push with the tip, because just takes material off because I push too hard. So I either use the striker and just give it light ones, and this will light with that, should do no problem at all, or I try the knife out. We'll see. But the spine on this knife is really sharp. If you've had a knife off me, you know my spines are very, very sharp. Right, I think I'll make another 2 or 3 and I won't bore you with that, and then I'll get the fire going. Right, I've made these, and these have been thick ones, so good hard strokes to make thicker feathers, because at the end of the day, don't really need a pile of really thin ones. I just need one thin one, and I was going to use that as my igniter stick, but I got a tiny little split left, so I'm going to make a very fine igniter stick. But these are just big thick ones. Basically took about 2 minutes to do these. And these, what I tend to call kindling feather sticks, because they're a lot thicker than an igniter stick. I can make them thicker again, but I'd use more substantial timber for that. Using the tip for very fine curls. Complete overkill. I don't really need to make one this fine, but I'm using the knife. I wanted to see how it went. Right then, let's light the fire. I've graded all my twigs. I put everything in place, so I'm not rushing around to get anything. My ferro rod's out. I've got my little Halterfor's kneeling pad, and I've got everything in order, which you'll see as I light the fire. The old magic is still there. I didn't lose it. Pot is on, and I've just put an inch of water in there now because I want to give it a good boiling and a good steaming. Get rid of that water and then put clean water in, because you don't know what chemicals I use. I know stainless steel, but you just don't know, so good idea to just give it a good burning first. That's boiling away nicely. Didn't take long. As I say, there was only an inch in there anyway. Right, I'm going to give that a couple of minutes now, and then I'm going to top it up for some tea. I like my tea. Well, if you've stayed here this long, you are obviously either interested in what I've got to say, or you're a regular member and you stick with me anyway. Well, what I'm going to talk about is the evolution of the tribute knife. Now, just want to explain something. when I designed the tribute knife, I took two things into consideration. Number one, the teachings of the great Kochanski, and number two, I also wanted it to look nice, something that worked but was also appealing to people, so I could make money. Let's face it, I love making knives, but I also love making money, because you've got to pay the bills and buy shit. That's life. This is my carbon model, and I've used this quite a bit, and I really like it. Now, the knife was meant to be in carbon. Mo's always said carbon because you've got a secondary fire lighter, you know, knock a rock on it, make a spark. So the knife was meant to be in carbon. The knife was meant to be plain and simple with 3 tubes. Again, the teachings of Mo's Kochanski, and a protruding butt plate, so you could hammer it into a tree and basically cut a small tree down for the start of your shelter. That was the thought process within it. But as the last 2 years have gone on, I've had people ask me, can I have a leather sheath? Can I have better steel? So this knife has actually gone from something that was meant to be plain, simple and affordable, with basic Kydex neck sheath, which you can put a tech lock on, to something completely different. So the basic model of this, when I started selling them, I was only asking £160, which is cheap. Well, let's face it, look where it's gone. You know, it's evolved into this, like £350 worth. CPM steel. You know, on this one, the holes have gone. So it's evolved into something completely different. So I have decided, in my wisdom, to make a Mark II. And the Mark II, I will keep cheap. It'll only come in a Kydex neck sheath. It'll come in whatever my carter I've got spare at the time, and it will come in carbon steel. The blade's gone for heat treating, and I should have it back this week at some point, and I'm going to make it up and then bring it to the woods and show it to everyone. And to be honest with you, it's far closer to Mo's ideas and ideals than this one or the Skookum is, in my opinion. So you're going to see that in the next couple of weeks. Right, I'm going to put some water on the boil for my cup of tea. Right, back to it. I've made my cup of tea. Now there's good news and bad news with this knife. If I like it, now I've designed it, I'm sure I'm going to like it. But if I don't, that's it. I won't make any more. I'll just leave it there. If I do decide to start making it, the bad news is I've got so many orders in that they take priority. I got people that have been waiting for over a year for a knife, especially the RWL ones, and I've got to get them done. And I'll be at the Wilderness Gathering this year, so I need to make some stock for that as well. So you're not really going to see these knives out until probably September, October. And the first few I'm going to make for my best customers. And I've got a few customers who've had a lot of knives off me and have been just great over the last few years. So they're going to be first. Then the next run after that, I'll be selling to members only. Because let's face it, you pay your money, you want something back, so you get first chance at owning them will be for my members. And then hopefully later on in the year I'm going to get a website sorted, and then I'll be putting them on for sale on the website with other knives, obviously. Yeah, I've got a lot of knives to make. I don't like letting people down, but I do tell people when they order a knife, it could be a while, it could be a year or so. But I'm making quite a lot full time now, so I am getting through the orders. And one more thing, if you did order a knife from me on Instagram, my old account got hacked and I lost loads of details. Some people have got back to me and they're now on the proper list, and there's definitely some out there who either haven't found my new Instagram account, which is Rob Evans Woodsman, same as the channel, if you're out there and you're thinking I'm an asshole because I haven't got back to you, it's because I've lost your contact details. So get in touch. Email me. Just leave a comment after this video and I'll give you my email address. Right, so unfortunately that's how it's going to be. I'm not going to be taking orders on the new knife if I make it, which I probably will. Yeah, because that's what the tribute knife was meant to be. It was meant to be quite a simple build which could keep the costs down and people could have a knife that the great Kochanski would have been happy with and that I'm happy with. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to spend a fortune on a knife. You know, there's nothing wrong with a Mora. I'm a big fan of the Mora Bust. I think it's a fantastic knife. I won't go into any more details on the new one. I'll leave it at that because I haven't built the thing yet. Blade's done, but I haven't put the handle on. Right, I'm going to leave it at that. Right, last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to talk about this pot. It's over there cooling down. I've got no problem with it, but it's a very slow pourer. And what I found, even with a glove on, it took so long to pour my cup of tea that the handles got really hot with an insulated glove on. That is my only gripe so far. But I'll keep using it, and if I find anything else I don't like about it, I'll let you know. But so far, that is just the one gripe. And the handles aren't fixed, although I think with the heat getting at it, they may stiffen up a bit. But that's not a deal breaker at all. Yeah, slow pouring spout. This bag I'm loving. I'm not just saying that because Roger Bison's a friend of mine. I didn't get it for nothing, I paid for it. Well, my wife paid for it. Yes, I really like this. This is a cracking bit of kit. Very good idea. The only thing I did do, it comes with a thick white cotton rope around here. I thought to myself, I don't particularly like that. That'll get stinking quick and it'll soak up moisture. So I put a thick elasticated cord on it and a cord lock. Yeah, it doesn't look as bushcrafty and as retro, but it works better. So sorry, Rog, that's one thing I did not like. Otherwise, it's great. I can just plonk it in my bag. I haven't got to fiddle around for things because my main fire lighting kit is in here, my spoon, and it's big enough to hold a knife. I could probably put a few carving knives in there as well. Yeah, very pleased with that. Right then, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for sticking with me. As I said earlier, I've been down for a few weeks. I've been in work, mine, and as I say, I've made a lot of knives, but I haven't been able to get out to the woods, and the weather's been shit anyway. It's just been wet and horrible. It's been a long old winter. Very dry February, which I was stuck indoors. March was a washout, soaking all the time. And it's no fun sitting around in the woods making videos when it's tipping down with rain anyway. Right, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your comments, I appreciate your views, and certainly appreciate a thumbs up. Until the next time, ta-ra.